Hey traders, in this video I'd like to go through a trade that I took this morning and walk through the process that I use to forecast, enter, manage, and exit the trade. It's intended to help those who have the tools and are trying to learn the strategy understand the way that I use the strategy in real time. And for those of you who aren't using the strategy, I just want to give you information to show you the way that I'm using it so that you can make an educated decision about whether this strategy and these tools could benefit your trading system. Now this is the video. It's playing. It's really slow. It took about an hour for the trade to play out, so I'm just going to manually drag through the video through the parts that I thought were important and talk about the things that happened. Now the first thing is to talk about how I forecasted the trade. Last night when we were doing the closing read, tension stayed above zero yesterday, and that put us into a bullish trending mindset. So you could see up here in the top corner, tension stayed above zero, and that's bullish. So that meant this morning I was going to be looking for opportunities to try and enter into the bullish trending mindset. And so I think I said, if anything happens, I'll just try and think bullish about it. Well, let's look at the decay right here as it's developing. This is from earlier today, so I'm just voicing over what happened. I want to point this out. You see how decay was retesting zero. Now, for those of you who have traded with this, I typically call this decay. I've changed it to McClellan charge. I think that might be a little bit easier to understand. This number, the charge, is charging or putting energy into momentum. So when decay moves negative, what it's suggesting is that momentum is going to find negative energy, and that'll pull downward on it. So it's an idea that's being presented. I trade ideas. Almost exclusively, that's the way I do it. So when I saw decay presenting the idea of moving down, I was looking to execute along because of the bullish trending mindset. Now, in a second here, I'll put my depth of market up onto the screen so you can see it, and then walk you through some of the things that were happening and how I was thinking about them. Let me fast forward until the depth of market. There's the depth of market. So you can see that when decay tested zero, I executed along on this trade. And as the market was developing, the things that I wanted to see were new highs, and let me show you what those are down here. When they're popping up here, those are new highs coming into the market. I wanted to see decay stay above zero. I didn't want to see it go down further. And I want to see momentum move up. And the goal was to see momentum move up and get to zero, see decay stay up, and see tension stay above zero. That's the objective here in taking advantage of the bullish trending mindset. So let's fast forward a little bit to see how things were playing out. You could see that decay was staying above zero. Momentum was sort of moving up, but kind of bunching up. It wasn't actually moving as quickly as I'd liked. And you could see that the new highs and lows, if this would stop doing that, let me just do this. The new highs and lows, we're getting light green, and light green implies that they're a little bit weaker in terms of deviation than the dark green. So we're not getting the real strong push that I was hoping for out of a bullish trending mindset, but that was okay. One of the things that markets will do is they respond to shifts in volatility. Let me play that so you can watch this. Shifts in volatility and shifts in trend, I guess. So this was, we're already in the trend, so we're not seeing a shift in the trend, but we are seeing a shift in volatility. If things are sort of moving slowly and then they move more aggressively, that can generate a pop in price. So seeing things move slowly at the beginning isn't a huge problem, because if things start to pick up in a few minutes, that can generate a good slide in price that can be profitable. So as things developed, you could see I wanted to see decay stay up and above zero, and you can see it's doing that slowly. And tension is staying away from zero. momentum is getting to the 20 level. Now, for some reason, the 20 level, when the McClellan velocity tests 20, a lot of algorithms, a lot of people will trade it. It has to do with the calculation. So I'm not going to talk about that, but when I say the 20 level, I'm going to point that out. It's this line here. This is the velocity getting to 20, negative 20 or positive 20. Those tend to matter, and they have to do with the way that the McClellan oscillators actually calculated the EMAs. So you can see that momentum is getting up, decay is staying away. We are getting some new highs, and the new highs are these down here again. And you know, the trade is moving and making new highs and stuff, and that's good. That's what we want to see. Now, at this point, let me talk about the things that I was focused on in terms of hurdles. What things will the market have to overcome that were going to cause problems? The first hurdle that I was paying attention to was the VoLTE, which is, where's my mouse? Which is this here. And VoLTE is a measure of volume and volatility. And that level right there is yesterday's VoLTE, and the market a lot of times struggles with that. Another difficulty was going to be seeing momentum hit 20, bounce around, getting to 0, bounce around. This would be a problem. And another issue that'll cause prices to come back down will be testing these pivots, these little red dots here. Each time decay hits one of those, a lot of times price will respond, and then then we'll be able. So there were 3 things that I was paying attention to that I thought would create some difficulty for my trade to run. But the market actually turned out to do okay. But I'll admit it did get my palms a little sweaty as things happened. So the market is moving, and let me fast forward a little bit here. You could see decay retested the level there, and that pulled price down. Let me back that up so you can see that. You see as decay retested that level, it pulled price down, made me a little nervous, but then finally broke through here. So once it broke through there and I saw decay had pushed a new high, I moved up my stop to break even. You can see that here. And I said to myself that, if decay is, the energy in the market is sort of confirmed that it wants to be positive. Momentum has moved up, you see right here, into a weak area, getting close to testing 0. And tension looks like it has pulled up a little bit. I didn't think that it should be coming back and testing my position. And a good, strong trends or moves in the market, they give you one opportunity. They give you one opportunity, and then they don't give you another opportunity that's very good. So you spend a lot of times, if you didn't enter at the beginning, you spend time waiting for an entry to get into the move, and it just doesn't come. So this developed, and you could see we were able to get some new highs here. One of the things that did make me a little nervous was, if you look at the new highs and lows, they're a little back and forth. I like to see longer runs of new highs on strong moves. You can see I was rescaling my chart there, thinking about the VoLTE, considering what would happen when we hit that VoLTE. Let me fast forward through to where we got to it. So we've tested the VoLTE, and price has moved pretty well in the direction of the bullish trending mindset. And you can also see at about the same time, the McClellan velocity, the momentum number, has tested almost 0. It's almost got to 0. Now, what's important about this number isn't that it's a number or a level. Those don't matter. What matters is the ideas. This is implying that the market is considering having positive energy in the market, positive momentum. And that idea can change the constituency. It can make people act one way or the other. So when I see that test the 0, I see it testing this idea of positiveness, and a lot of times that can cause some supply to come in and prices will move back down. So the VoLTE got tested, and it did come back down and tested today's VoLTE. Right there, you see that tested today's VoLTE. And decay did move back down. But and then we got back to that 20 level, but it didn't do anything that I thought had destroyed the trend. It didn't give us a really great entry point. Nothing about this said bearish to me yet, so I continued to hold. After that test, the market started to move, and I think that was the real testing point, and you can see right there. Let's do the glorious successful trade. It finally had tested those levels, came back down, and all of those who had held on to it and saw this as a trend and not just a range, the market swept up, and you can see was able to take out my take profit, and that got me out of the trade. I was shooting for 10 points because I thought that the volatility in the market was pretty good, and there it was. Okay, so the trade is out. Now let's take a look at the charts right now, what's happened really fast, so you can kind of see what ended up happening with that. And here they are right now. So once it took my position out, I had gotten what I thought was a pretty decent chunk of run, and I just used 3 contracts to make the video to show you guys how this works and what I was thinking. Hopefully that's a helpful instruction about what I was thinking throughout the trade and some of the things that mattered to me. If you have questions about this or you want to learn a little bit more, head over to BaconTrading.com. Reading the page about tension, so BaconTrading.com/tension, will be the best page to get an idea of how I structured it last night in order to know that we have a good bullish move. And that will help you, follow along. Also, if you're interested in this strategy, some of the charts will be posted up on BaconTrading.com. On the main page, click Bacon Charts, and a page will show up that you can watch some of these charts in real time. It can take a second or two to update using Google, but that can give you access to some of the charts to see if there's something that you like. Otherwise, I hope this was helpful. Good luck trading.